Joined now by Hans von Spakovsky, legal fellow and manager of the Election Law Reform Initiative at the Heritage Foundation. Always a pleasure seeing you, Hans. You know, Sidney Powell has filed her lawsuits in Georgia and Michigan. She said today she's going to be turning over her evidence to the Department of Justice. Do you think the Attorney General will be willing to actually take an honest look at this stuff?
Well, I think the Attorney General would. The problem is, I know the career lawyer who's been there for a long time, who's in charge of the election crimes unit, who's supposed to investigate this. And basically, he hasn't done anything for years to investigate election fraud. He has ignored evidence that has come in and come out all over the country and hasn't done anything about it. So I suspect that down in the deep ranks of the Justice Department, they will do their best to ignore any evidence that comes in.
Well, let me ask you, first off, what is this person's name, and how long has he been there collecting a paycheck for sitting on his butt?
Well, his name is Richard Pilger, and he's been there a long time during this administration and the prior administration. And to just give you a quick example of what I'm talking about, when I was on a county election board in Virginia, a number of years ago, we sent evidence to the Justice Department of non-citizens who had registered and voted in our county in Virginia, and the Justice Department did absolutely nothing about it.
Well, apparently the DOJ believes that illegal aliens, non-citizens, should be having a say in our elections, which maybe we should change their name over the Department of Justice. Doesn't sound like justice to me. You've seen, I'm going to ask you this. How much have you seen of the testimony in Pennsylvania, Arizona, and Michigan? To me, it's been very compelling. Any takeaways that from this testimony that you've seen?
Well, I've seen enough of it to be extremely concerned about the allegations and claims being made by eyewitnesses to what was going on. And it sounds like election laws were being violated in state after state after state, often with the connivance of and instigation of election officials there. And in order to basically cover up that, they seem to think it was okay to violate state laws about having observers in the polling places and threw observers out when state law requires that every candidate and every political party be able to have observers to watch every aspect of the election process. That also is extremely worrisome. Transparency is fundamental to having a fair election process.
Now, you and I have known each other for an awful long time, and
Right.
You have been sounding the alarm bells about voting integrity and election fraud for many, many moons. Maybe I'm speaking out of school here, but what I've witnessed so far, the evidence that's been presented this year about what happened in this election, I've never seen it this bad. Am I wrong?
Well, I think there's a lot of problems like this that happen that just never get noticed. And even when they do get noticed, nothing is done about it. Again, going back to the example I gave of non-citizens, look, there have been reports just in the last few years issued by reputable organizations about finding non-citizens registered in voting in numerous states, and yet nothing has been done about that by election officials or by law enforcement, both at the state and federal level, with only a few exceptions. So unfortunately, this is an ongoing problem. What this election, Chris, has done is really brought it to the attention of the public in a way that they haven't seen it before.
No, and I think that that's another benefit of President Donald Trump, a Republican who believes in fighting for what's right. I think that's a natural outflow that now a lot of Americans are engaged in this fight that may have never been before.